Ceann Comhairle. First of all, I welcome this opportunity to speak here tonight, and I want to commend the Minister and his department for their quick and comprehensive work in bringing forward a bill which not just fixes the legal issues which arose from the High Court ruling, but improves the rights of patients in terms of their access to review of their detention and creates a fairer and more humane approach to the unfortunate but often necessary measures of involuntary admission and treatment. The finding by Mr Justice Gerard Hogan that long-stay detention of an individual in an inpatient unit without the opportunity for review is unconstitutional, and he was right, and obviously it should have been no surprise to any of us. 4 years ago, its review of the Mental Health Act, the expert group recommended revising of this and many other issues relating to patients' rights. The group made a total of 165 recommendations, many of which have not been acted upon or even really acknowledged by the government. The reality is that not only do we need to pass this bill or look at the expert review, we need to push forward with a comprehensive, modern and progressive new Mental Health Act which puts patients' rights at the very forefront of care in Ireland. I will return to this broad issue in a moment, but I'd like to address the amendments submitted to the bill by myself. I have submitted, Ceann Comhairle, 2 amendments to the bill, but I will not be pushing the second after discussing the finer details with the Minister, Deputy Brown, Deputy Kelly and speaking to other experts. The intent was also to allow greater latitude for a patient as to when they would seek their tribunal, but this, I now believe, is no longer necessary to add to this bill. The first amendment which I seek to have added to this bill will specify that a patient involuntarily detained under a renewal order will have the right to one review of each order, and not, as the language may have suggested, over one review per period of the overall detention. We should be very careful about the conditions under which we allow the state, through the health service, to take such serious actions as to deny the liberty of an individual. This should never be done just for the sake of it or on a willy-nilly fluff, and the continuation of the detention should carry on being treated with such seriousness. We should never allow the process to develop into a vicious cycle which perpetuates detention. The approval of one detention order should not make the renewal, if sought, an easier or less serious endeavour. In fact, given the desire for our services, in the interest of patients, to be a recovery-based model which seeks to avoid admissions and detention where possible, everything should be done to ensure that a renewal order is not necessary, and so a renewal order should never be seen as an easy option with a low bar for justification. If a criminal deserves a free and fair trial with a heavy burden of proof, the completely innocent sufferer of a mental health issue should be afforded no less, if not a great deal more, in terms of their right to liberty. I hope that you will agree that this is a worthwhile addition to the bill, as I've been told by you, Minister, that you've already agreed to it, and I thank Deputy Brown, and again I thank Deputy Kelly on this as well. I have found you, Minister, to be someone who I do believe is interested in upholding and improving the rights of patients, but action on this so far has been lacking. I myself have been waiting a very long time to move forward with Sinn Féin's bill on the issues of advanced healthcare directives. The Minister has been open to working with us on this, but it has been a long and drawn-out process, given the far greater resources that you have at your disposal. I will be seeking to move forward with this bill as soon as time is available in the Dáil. The issue is only of clear importance that this bill is to deal with it appropriately and has been developed with experts in the field. I hope that we can rely on the support of the Minister very soon, as well as Fianna Fáil and all parties, so that we can pass it to second stage and work together to get the best act finalised and in place for the people we represent. This bill we debate tonight is important, but it should not stall all the other issues of patients' rights. Last month, the Minister said in a response to a PQ that the general scheme of the new Mental Health Act was in the works, but that a draft would be sent to the Mental Health Commission by the end of the year. Unfortunately, Minister, while I don't doubt this is your intention or what you are being told, this is a long and storied history of deadlines being made and deadlines being passed, and very little coming in the realm of mental health when it comes to the Irish Government. When I took up this role in 2016, I was told that a review of the Vision for Change strategy was being worked upon, We're still waiting, and we're not exactly hopeful given how little the future of mental health care got in the way of information from this group once it was finally set up. I am also still waiting on a review on the role of suicide crisis nurses assessment, which I have been told is underway in every PQ I have asked about the role since 2016, which obviously precludes the department from answering any questions that they have for this role. We have been waiting on a review of Jigsaw. We've been told again it'll be the end of the year. We were told that we would be 24/7 mental health services and given very little information on the development of this plan or how it's been implemented. Unsurprisingly, the first concrete bit of information on the move to out-of-hours care says that some, in inverted commas, whatever that is, limited, this will be in place at the beginning of 2019. December and January will be an extremely busy time for the HSE and the Department of Health if all these deadlines are to be delivered. Minister, my point is that we need to commit to solving some serious legislative problems in the coming months, and so far we have little to give us hope that this will be done. Let's start with getting this bill over the line, continue with advanced healthcare directives, and get this mental health bill ready and to that quality that the patients of our mental health services and their families deserve. We were talking about timeframes and everything, and I was doing a bit of research because before I came in here, the Assisted Decision Making Capacity Act was signed in December into law in December 2015, and it would be worrying at times, Ceann Comhairle. This Act actually replaced the Lunacy Regulation Ireland Act of 1871, so that was 144 years. So it took a bit of time. So I'm hoping that we can work together and speedily resolve this. And I am genuinely, it is a good, proud moment for all of us that we can actually work together and get these things done, because it's not about scoring political points all the time in this chamber. It's actually about caring about people, doing the right thing. And as I said, I will be following up on the Assisted Decision-Making Capacity Bill, because, as I said, it is vitally, vitally important. We do need to work together. And as I said, I am very, very passionate about this. Time frames, we're looking at, if we can achieve this, between the Shannon, and I also like to congratulate the Shannon, on the speed of, getting this to where it is today in this chamber. And how ironic, you'd never know, this could be the last bill that our President may sign into law before the next big election is coming, as we all know. So look, as again, you'd never know. But look, again, I am very proud, and I'm very grateful to you all for, working together on this, and go to Míle Mágat. Thank you.